Good morning, my friends. How is everybody doing today? We are up and at it. We have about 2.5 hours until New York opens. So let's get our little pre-market plan going together on how we're going to be looking at different things. Little recap. We always do our recaps. Yesterday video we were talking about NVIDIA, and we were discussing in the pre-market how we're going to recover the gap right here. Gap is fully recovered now, and we just wiggled up, had a quick wick up to recover the gap, a slight pullback, and now we're holding steady in this area. And I was saying yesterday how that $100 level could be that nice line in the sand, so to speak, right now. They might want to be holding this area. The value of NVIDIA might be $100 at the moment, because it seems like they're holding this area. And what we were talking about yesterday too is we were envisioning over here some of these red candles over here on that downswing on the hourly time frame, how there was some imbalance in those candles over here on the left. So we were envisioning that at a possible high of price coming up to 110, 111 to kind of fix those imbalances. We'll clear that off. So what am I looking at today on some possible situations? One, market open, no downswing, just straight up. Two, we could have a little quick wick up and then drop down, take out some of those short liquidity, and then we can drop down, because the gap's recovered. There's no reason why we can't drop down from here. No reason at all. You could have had the sell-off on Monday, little cool-off on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, which is today, we can continue the sell-off. So they can push that fear and that narrative of stock market crashing on you to get you to sell off all your positions. Try to think of it like this. When you're selling, somebody's buying. It's not necessarily always the case when you sell, somebody else is directly buying your share, but the market is making that order happen for you. But you have to have a game plan and a reason to sell. Personally, I'm not selling here. It's nothing here is scaring me. Okay? So today, my only game plan today, what I'm looking for is my best possible scenario. What's going to get me really wanting to take a position on NVIDIA today? If market opens and price has a quick pullback right here, an initial sell-off, okay, that is telling me that they're gonna do a little nasty trick here and trick everybody right off the bat that they're gonna sell off hard. Well, if they do that quick off the bat, they're just trying to get people to sell so that they can buy here, here, and here 100, 99, 98, 95, and that's so they can sell here 105, 110, or 110, 115, 120. So that's where I'm looking at on the only position that I would be taking today is I would be having buy limits down here 95, 93, 98, and I would be having sells up here 110, 115, 120. That's it. That's where my board would be placed. If I'm filled, great. If I'm not, who cares? The market can only behave the way it behaves, and if it doesn't behave according to your game plan, then you have no trade for the day. You don't have to trade every day. Don't trade every day. You're just giving the market more opportunity. If the universe does not conform to your will that day, it's not your day. No big deal. The market will conform to you at different times. It will play your setups at different times. So that's what I'm looking at for NVIDIA today. Just keep in mind the daily. We talked about this yesterday. Look at that. That is beautiful. That is our coin phrased, the round trip structure right there. On the daily time frame, NVIDIA has taken a round trip. There's no reason price can't go up from here. Vice versa, when you zoom out on the weekly, look at that. Why are we only looking to go to 110, 120? Well, we're pretty high on the weekly, okay? Well, if we're so high on the weekly, well, why aren't you thinking about going short? That's a swing trade. If you're going to be shorting NVIDIA, you're looking at a long-term swing trade. We're looking at the opportunity that presents itself today. It just bounced from the $90 area. So why am I going to short a bounce on the weekly? I'm not. What do I want to do? I want to short a rejection. I want to short here, here, here. I want to start taking short positions from there if I'm looking into a short on NVIDIA on the weekly. And even then, I'm not even really knowing that I'm not really getting too bearish unless I see the rejection here, or if I see a drop from the 90 area and then kind of bang your head against on the ceiling at 100 and then a drop down again. Okay, that would be a great entry right there if that had happened around the 100 area. But those are just kind of how I'm envisioning NVIDIA playing out today. Let's go over to our bad boy Tesla. Yeah, look at that. Look at that Tesla on the hourly. Same kind of behaviors. Nice little grab for some long liquidity that happened yesterday. Nice little grab there. Right here. Somebody got their order filled down there. Somebody got their order filled at 190. And now they're up in the money at 200. Gee, I wonder who was that. Everybody that had their long stops over here, they just got taken out. So yesterday, people were putting their long stops under this wick right here. And then later in the day, What happened? Well, they lost. They got stopped out. And somebody else got filled on their order. It's brutal. It's dog eat dog, I'm telling you. Somebody's stop is another man's entry. That's just how it is. That's how it is. You have to envision these things. You have to have the power of future projection in your mind and think about what other people are doing. So that gap is pretty well recovered. It's kind of the same deal as NVIDIA for me. Market open, little sell-off, entice some shorters, rip up. Just the universe is telling me that today is going to be quick moves. And if you tend to be a little bit slow on your execution, I wouldn't recommend today. Today is going to be one of those days where people without game plans are going to get rocked and wrecked, and they're not going to see it coming. So Tesla, only thing I would be envisioning to take today on Tesla, possibly an order here, a sell-off here, and a high TP sell-off up here, just in order to, okay, how can we punish both parties? Because when I come to the market and I'm looking at the market, I'm looking at who's on the table, who am I envisioning to have their money on the table, and how can I swipe the whole table? How can I make everybody lose? Because the only way I can win is for everyone else to go down. That sounds mean and brutal, but it's just an analogy to use especially when you think of yourself as, oh man, I never win. Well, okay, if you never win, and if you're the only one that's not winning, and it seems like everybody else is winning, and you're the only one that's losing, then you have to set your game plan up for everybody else to lose and you to win. Seems crazy, right? Believe me, you're not crazy when you think those thoughts. That is the market. The market is a unique thing. It's very strange in how it operates. We were looking at Pepsi in the afternoon yesterday. Let me pull up the Pepsi chart here real quick. Look at Pepsi on the daily. Look at this. Does this seem like anything to you? Turn your phone upside down. If you're watching this on a phone, turn your phone upside down and see what it looks like. It looks exactly like the daily chart for NVIDIA, only upside down, doesn't it? Isn't that weird? Isn't that crazy? It's the exact same damn thing. It just did the opposite. It's like the opposite of what NVIDIA did. It's a round trip. I just thought that was interesting. Zooming in on what could happen today. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that nasty candle in the middle there. Whew. All of it had just been... That is brutal, my friends. This candle right here, long wick, this long, skinny hammer candle, I'm telling you, that got so many people bullish right there. Why? Because price had dropped down and immediately got back bought back up within 1 hour. So that got everybody thinking, oh yeah, we're going to go up from here. But then what happened? Too many people were buying up this candle. So there's too much money down here for the market to take. So what did the market do? It convinced them for a couple hours that they were right in their decision-making process, that price was going to go up. And then it just dragged down, down, down. Everybody is either negative or they're right back where they started when they bought up this long wick candle. So now that everybody has sold off all of that, they got discouraged. They started selling off, pulling up the 4-hour time frame. What do I kind of see? Okay, today is looking, what's it looking like to me? Not looking very bullish in my opinion. Why? Now because I'm looking at this 4-hour candle, I can potentially see a round trip structure here. Price starts here, it goes up. Oh, look, it's making this nice topping formation here. And then now it could just be the infinite drag down. Okay? That's what it could be. We're going to leave that there. We're going to leave that line there for future reference so we can come back and look at Pepsi on the 4-hour here in a couple days, end of the week, and see how the structure played out. More often than not, we're going to revisit this area. I'm not touching Pepsi. I'm not touching Pepsi today. This is just a potential setup I see coming. This could be a moneymaker. I'm taking this position. Why am I taking this position? Today, right now? Buy now? No, hell no. According to how I look at the market, I see a potential demand play down here. When this round trip structure is complete and price revisits this area, that's when I'm looking to have my order. I'm looking to have a buy right there, 166, 167, 168. I probably have 3 buys down there. Go ahead and get me, market. I'm not scared. It doesn't bother me. I know when I'm getting out of a position and when I'm holding a position. So that's where my buy orders are set. 166, 167, 168. Why? The round trip maneuver is going to complete itself, and then we'll have a pull up to do what it wants. Okay? So that's generally how I envision Pepsi playing out. And we zoom out on the daily. Look at that. What? Since the round trip has completed itself, and if we do have a demand set up later in the week at the 166, 7, 8 level, there's no reason after having that demand set up, especially here on the weekly, why we can't hold that for a swing from down here to take out this money up here and here. It's plain and simple to me. I would have 2 take profits. I would have a take profit above this candle, and I would have a take profit above that candle. Those would be my 2 sell positions on the potential swing trade here from 167 area up to, let's see what price is this right here. 180 would be a take profit. 180 and 178 would be my 2 take profits. Plain and simple. Why? Because there's some people that have shorted from that. They have their stops above that 178, and there's people that have shorted that have their stops above the 180. Because traditional trading, it just teaches you to put your stop right above a previous high or right above a previous low. Sure, a lot of people know about using the average true range on your stops. But even then, it's not deep enough. I'm telling you. When you are thinking about your stop has to be either a quick out or your stop has to be so far away it doesn't matter if you really want to see something through. And most people don't have the power to have that big of a drawdown or hold something, or they don't have enough conviction to have a stop so far away that it won't get nabbed. And we profit off that. That's generally how it goes, unfortunately. Because we know when to get out, and when we are holding something for a swing, we have so much conviction that we don't care where it goes until we see the whole thing, see the whole thing through. So that's generally how I view things. Pre-market hours, Pepsi potential setup for the week. The NVIDIA one is the higher probability in my opinion, and Tesla generally is going to do what NVIDIA does as far as its maneuver. Those two are generally going to go hand in hand, unless you have some oddball news come out today. But that's generally a very rare occurrence. But peace and love, and I will talk to everybody later.